Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Steven Stone, and today I just want to show you how I make my YouTube thumbnails. So right away I want us to head over to Photoshop because that is what I make my YouTube thumbnails with. So I'm going to create new file, and one of the thing to put in consideration when creating a new file, you always want to make sure that your file is saved with the distinct name that your content is all about, because this is one of the ways that YouTube reads about your content and makes it relevant to the specific people. So you just save your content with the specific name. So let's say, like for example, this tutorial, I'm showing you how I make my YouTube thumbnail. So that is exactly how I'm going to name this project. Alright, so it doesn't matter whether you're saving it in small or caps, doesn't matter, as long as that is the name of the content. So right away you check the dimension here. Always make sure that you are doing 1920 by 1080. Obviously you want to make sure that the same resolution your content is the same resolution your thumbnail is going to be. If you're going to upload a 4K content, make sure that you'll have to put it in 3840 by 2160. I believe those are the dimension. And also in resolution here, you want to make sure that it's a bit low. I always put mine at 180. Usually when I design when I'm designing for clients, maybe graphic designs and all that stuff, I usually put my resolution down here to 300. But you realize when you put 300, obviously the file is going to be huge. But you know, in thumbnails, YouTube can only allow files that are 2 MB and below. So you want to make sure that this is pulled down a little bit. So this is where I put it, and it works fine for me. So 180 is okay. So I'm just gonna go and create the file. So here's my file right here. So right away, obviously, when you want to create a YouTube thumbnail, it's either you're having a photo, or maybe just you have to have some content to do with photo that you're going to create and later on export to be uploaded as your thumbnail. It is going to be a photo anyway. So what I do is I have my photo right here, which I extracted from my clip. So that photo fits exactly with my dimension, which is good thing. So I'm just gonna enable this, or even as a matter of fact just delete it, because my photo already have the dimension. So the first thing you want to do is make this photo appear good. So right here you see blemishes on my face. Obviously I've got blemishes, but to get rid of these blemishes you want to, okay, this is smart object, must be rasterized. Okay, that's fine. We have to rasterize our image so that it can be used with the brush tool. So after rasterizing, I just happen to do one click and those blemishes disappear. So you have to, first is just making sure that your image is appealing and looking good. You have to clean your image and you have to make it look good. So after that is done, what I do next is I want to work on the saturation, and I want to make it a little bit pop with color. So I go here to adjustments and I hit vibrance. I increase my vibrance maybe to around 13 to 10 to 13, either way, and my saturation also just about the same area. So you realize that when I do that, my skin tone is tampered with and it doesn't look realistic, but that is being taken care of right away. So I'm gonna grab my pen tool and just select my face roughly. I don't have to be accurate on it, but my target is my skin on my face. And also I'll work on the one on my hands. Even the areas that are dark were not matters, but after making a selection, you want to go here and click make selection, and this right here you want to put to 10. You want to feather to 10 so that it doesn't have to affect other areas, or even if it's affect other areas, it's smooth and doesn't look amateur. So go right ahead and adjustments again, go to vibrance. So this time we are going to turn them down, both down. You're going to turn the vibrance down and also the saturation down, but not too much because it will make me appear like, it will make me pale. I don't want to appear like I'm dead or something. It's not dead tutorial, but I think right about there is okay, and I think I've already achieved that. That is good. So I'm just gonna hit Control D. If you're in Mac, hit Command D, and I'm gonna do the same for my hand right here. Just select roughly. You don't have to be accurate with this. Just roughly select it. It's gonna work great, and nobody can really realize, you know, that these hands were, or my face was selected differently. So after doing that, the same, just make the selection, and 10 is okay. After that, go here and select adjustments, vibrance, turn down the vibrance like I told you, just a little bit, and then also here. And I think right about there for me it's okay. Make sure I also don't appear dead on my hands. Press OK. Command D in Mac and Control D in PC. So we have our image already looking so good. Looking so good. Your image is looking so good from different how we started. If I was to show you this image when we started, you cannot believe it, but I believe you're keeping track of me and you know what I'm doing. So the next step that I'm going to do, I'm going to sharpen this image. I'm gonna go right ahead to like filter here, go to sharpen, and also I'm going to do smart sharpen. I always do smart sharpen to make my image sharp and appear with good quality. These are my settings right here. You can copy them, you can pause the video and copy them. I press OK, and right away they are applied in my computer, in my project, I mean, obviously. So after doing that, so one thing that I'm going to do next is make me as the subject to pop. This is what I'm going for. I'm going to make me as the subject to pop. So once again, I'm going back to my pen tool, and this time I'm going to select my old self just in this image. And again, I don't have to be accurate with this. It's just playing around and seeing how I can select myself. You don't have to be accurate, guys. You don't have to be too keen. Too keen is too weird. Just gonna select my ears here. Don't think so much about it. Just select your ears. This is how I make my thumbnails, guys. Though it might appear a lot of work, but you know, when you want to do something good, you give it some work, you put some little effort on it, because you want something to appear, you want people to respond well, you want people to click on your videos and watch. They'll be asking you like, how did you make these thumbnails, you see? So just go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and select that here, right there. Select out. Like I say, you don't have to be too accurate. The mission here is to make me as the subject to pop. The mission is to make me as the subject to pop. So after that is done, I'm gonna make my selection. This time do 3 to 5, it will be okay. So I'm gonna do 3 there, and then after done 3, my image is already selected. But one thing that I'm going to do so that I blur the background and I make myself pop, right now I'm selected. If I go and blur the background, I'll be blurred. But so I'll just go ahead and click Control Shift I, which is inverse, or Command Shift I if you're in Mac. So after that, you realize that the selection have gone backward, and now we can apply the blur effect, where we can go to blur and then we go to lens blur, and right away the background is blurred. My setting is right here. As I said, you can always pause this video and follow up. So press OK, and that is applied. Press Ctrl D or Command D to deselect the selection. Now on to the third step. I don't want this video to appear so long, but so far, if you're enjoying this, please consider subscribing and smash that like button. I really appreciate. Okay, let's continue. So I'm gonna select my text. This is where we include text in our videos. Whoa, this is huge, too huge actually, but that is what we are going for. We want to make our text in our thumbnails big. So how I make my YouTube thumbnails, how I make my YouTube thumbnails. So Control A for all. I know some text might appear like they're missing, but I'm just gonna adjust that right away and bring them to the place they're supposed to be. I don't want it to be too big, you know. Just bring the text also up a little bit. As you can see, this is good, but it's still somehow too big. It's very big. So let me make some adjustment here. I'm just gonna narrow this down a bit, make the text closer, and also this, just to bring them together a little bit. And I'm gonna see how to adjust this. Anyway, I'm not going to use all of this text on my thumbnail. Actually, this is the title of my content, so there is no need for me to use all these, you know, wordings here. So I'm going to select just a simple text to put here, because putting all this here is just too much and it appears too much. It's like somebody's reading a whole storybook or something. So let me see how I make my YouTube videos, my YouTube thumbnails. So I can choose to just use thumbnails. I can just choose to write YouTube thumbnails as the thing that I want to appear on this how do we call it, on this thumbnail creation. So I can just choose to write YouTube thumbnails and I put it down here. So this is good. Maybe just increase the size a little bit just to make it a little bit bigger, maybe just not too much close. That is okay. Can put it here. So that is looking good. I like that. So far we have our image pop and the background is blurry and we have our text here. So the last, or maybe the final thing that we do, this, we can do this in two steps. We can either double click here, bring out a layer style, and click drop shadow, and immediately it will make our subject to also the text to pop. And also we can just, after making the text pop, we can go ahead, maybe choose a different color for this, maybe give it some red from that, and boom, there we have it. Or we can put some cyan, boom, there we have it. So you can just play with it like that also. But another different way to make this be a little bit good, so let me just get those layer mask out of the way. I'm gonna pick I'm just gonna pick a rectangle created behind the word YouTube right here, and I'm gonna bring it down because I want it to be behind. So I'm gonna select that and give it a different color. Let's give it cyan. Like, that is good. I think that is good so far. Okay, let's go back here and give this a little bit more space because they're too close. So I'm gonna push it a little bit down, push it a little bit up, bring my text box, just whoa. Can select this, put that there, bring this here. Right there. A rectangle right here. Let me just select this rectangle and align it a little bit better. Just you know, you want to be organized. So after that, I create another rectangle for thumbnails right here, and this time I'm going to do a different color, maybe magenta. Yes, that is looking good. You always want to play with your colors to make it pop. You see, when you use this cyan kind of looking sky blue and also magenta, it makes it pop and makes it looks really nice. So after this, you're just done. It's upon you to choose exactly where you want all this to be. If you want it to be down there, if you want it to be up here, you can just make it the way you want it. If you put it up here, obviously it's going to close my eyes, so I'm just gonna leave mine down there. So this is the best way probably I do my thumbnails and make it look very nice even in your eyes. So this, I'm proud of this. I'm just gonna go ahead and export it. Right here I go to export and I go as save for web. You always want to export your thumbnails in PNG, and obviously when I save for web, it means, like, obviously YouTube is a website, so saving for web is the best way to go. So you save as PNG. You want to make sure you save it with good quality, but let it not be more than 2 MBs. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and save this. How I make my YouTube thumbnails. Good, that's my title. I'm just gonna save it. Boom, onto my desktop right away. Yes, it's saved. Ready. So I go to my desktop right here. I find it here. You can double click on it. Oh, looking good. I love it. So after that, I just check the size, if it's exactly how I want it to be. I don't want it to be more than 2 MB. That would be big. If you check the size here, it's 926k kilobytes, which is it's just good. So we're on the right track. So guys, that is how I create my thumbnails using Photoshop, and that is how I separate my background and I make myself pop, and that is how I also make my writings. If I have writings in my thumbnail, that is how I make it pop. You always want to make it big and also colorful so that it be attractive. That is the first thing somebody will notice. I'm very sure even if you're watching this video, that is the first thing you noticed. So it's very important. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing, smash that like button and leave me a comment. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.